Ooh, what's good, Commanders fans? Victory Monday. Sorry, I started the stream a little late, guys. A little bit on CP time, but thank you guys for joining in. Gonna be a lot of fun, guys. Another Victory Monday. 4 Victory Mondays in a row. We got a quarterback, guys, and this guy, Jayden Daniels, he's not in the running for. I mean, he already got Rookie of the Year sealed. He's got the deal sealed with that, but MVP legit is in the conversation. Today's stream is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys check out BetUS. As normal for every Victory Monday, we're going to do studs and duds and just enjoy the time. Good vibes, good energy. Just enjoying being at the top of the NFC East. It's lonely at the top, 4-1 at the top of the NFC East. We have a 72% chance of making the playoffs. We have a 72% chance of making the playoffs right now, but we're not even thinking about that. We're just one game at a time right now. One game at a time. We're just going to enjoy this victory over the Browns. We did what we were supposed to do. We did not let them off the hook. We did not let the massage guy get off the hook. And the great thing is that the defense is looking legit, man. That's how scary this team can be, guys. That's how scary the Commanders. This is how scary we can be. Like, the defense is waking up. Frankie Louvu was balling, doing that chant in the locker room after you got the game ball. That gets me hyped so much. Just seeing Frankie Louvu doing that, it gets me hyped. Seeing the guys get hyped in the locker room after the game. Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, John Allen has woken up. Rock, paper, scissors. Him and Deron Payne doing rock, paper, scissors. Who's going to be in the next play? Dorrance Armstrong getting in the mix now. Dante Fowler getting in the mix. I mean, and this defense is getting scary. It's starting to get scary. I know it's an inferior opponent with Deshaun Watson playing awful, and they can't convert. We're stopping teams on third downs. We stopped Kyler Murray on third downs. So this is back to, and we just beat a team in the Cardinals that, guess what? Since we've been beating so many bad teams, guess what? Guess who the Cardinals just beat? They beat the 49ers yesterday. They beat the 49ers. They beat a darn good team. They beat it in the Giants. They beat the Seahawks on the road. So 2 teams that we beat 2 perennial playoff teams in the past 3 or 4 years. 2 teams that we beat on our schedule so far. And we beat the Bengals, who took the Ravens toe-to-toe yesterday, 41-38 in overtime. So we've beaten some good teams. We've beaten some good teams. Not great teams, but we beat some tough teams that are very challenging that just beat 2 perennial playoff teams. So, I mean, I'm going to be at the game. Elliot, what's up, man? Elliot _14, what's up, man? He said, Ed, I'm about to be at the game. Yes, I will be at the game on Sunday. I did post my tickets on my Instagram story and Facebook story. I don't get on Facebook like that anyway. But my Instagram stories conjoined with the Facebook story. So it went on both. But I will be at the game. Shout out to my guy, Gordon Horowitz, man. Thank you for him. I will be going to the game with him. So it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. And you guys know I live in Baltimore, if you didn't know that. So it's going to be a 5-minute drive for me to get to. It was going to be like a 15-minute drive for me to get to M&T Bank. I actually passed M&T Bank today on my way somewhere. But it's going to be a lot of Washington fans. I got a feel it's going to be a lot of Commanders fans in there, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. And that game, it should have been flexed to 8 p.m., but it is what it is. CBS protected the game. I can't blame CBS for protecting that game because they know a lot of people want to see that game. It's going to get a lot of viewers. It's going to get a lot of ratings, even though it's not a nationally televised game or not even a 4:00 game. I thought it should have at least been a 4:00 game. A 4-1 team with Lamar versus Jayden Daniels, and this is going to be a matchup that we may possibly see for years and years to come. I mean, it's going to be an awesome matchup. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be a high-scoring game. But like I said, I do want to focus a little bit more on the Browns game. But it's hard not to look at that Ravens game. And that's why everybody called this Browns game a trap game. That's why the Browns game, everybody's like, oh, this is a trap game. This is a trap game because we're going to overlook the Browns looking at the Ravens and looking at that matchup between Jayden Daniels versus Lamar Jackson. But they had their eyes on the prize. Jayden Daniels didn't have the sexiest start. He threw an interception, even though that pass to Terry was a beautiful pass. And the Browns defense, I'll give them credit. The Browns defense in the first quarter, they were legit. Like JOK was flying around, Jeremiah Koromora, he was flying around. Everybody wanted to draft him with that funny looking helmet, the funny looking cover that he had on his helmet. He was flying around. He got the interception. Like they were stopping the design runs. They actually made us punt. We rarely punt the football. The Browns made us punt in the first quarter. That was odd to see. So, I mean, they made us work for it. They really did. I got to give them credit. But Myles Garrett was radio silent. He had, guess what? This is goose eggs. Myles Garrett had as many sacks as we got. Everybody's on the stream. We had the same amount of sacks. as Myles Garrett, the perennial All Pro, future Hall of Famer probably. Myles Garrett had 0 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 sacks, 0 tackles, and that was the one guy I was really concerned about. Zadarius Smith is a good pass rusher too. We basically neutralized him for the most part, but Brandon Coleman did a good job. Cornelius Lucas did a great job. Jayden Daniels got the ball out quickly. He evaded the rush. Every time they thought they had him, and it's tough. You can't tackle, you can't sack what you can't catch. And there were multiple times where Jayden Daniels was just too smooth, too fast. The 4th and 3 run for 34 yards. The 4th and 5, we converted that as well. We convert 4th downs. We are a 4-down team. I've said this for multiple weeks now. 4th down, it doesn't matter. It can be 4th and 5, 4th and 4, 4th and 3, 4th and 1. We're going to get it. Jayden's going to get it. He's either going to get it with his legs or he's going to get it throwing the football. And then Cliff's going to mix up a sweep to Austin Eckler for that nice 4th and 2 conversion. Or he's going to have Jerry McNichols run the ball on a 4th and 1 against the Cardinals for 15 extra yards. So, I mean, that's what we do on 4th downs. But I am intrigued to bring up the Ravens again. Then I'm going to get to some comments. Is what do we do on 4th downs against the Ravens? And I said this a couple of weeks ago against the Cardinals. I didn't really bring them up much against the Browns because I didn't think we needed to really go for it on 4th down like that against the Browns because they just couldn't score. They can move the football. We had 7 sacks. And my favorite thing about that game against the Browns, other than the De'Ami Brown touchdown catch, other than the Eckler run, other than the Terry McLaurin beautiful catch down the sideline or the catch that he had on Denzel Ward, was Bobby Wagner talking trash to Deshaun Watson when Deshaun Watson had his head down. That was hilarious. I was dying laughing. But 4th down is going to be huge against the Ravens. Like, are we going to be aggressive like we have been or take the points when we're on? Because we're going to move the ball on the Ravens. The Ravens defense is not good. They're just not. They're not the same defense that they had with Mike McDonald last year, the defensive coordinator who's now the coach for the Seahawks. They're just not the same. They're giving up a lot of yards through the air. They gave up a lot of yards to Rashee Rice week 1. They gave up a lot of yards to Devontae Adams with the Raiders. And these are good receivers I'm talking about. So, I mean, it's not like they're giving up big yards to guys who are slouches, but they gave up a lot of yards to Devontae Adams with the Raiders when they lost to the Raiders. They gave up a lot of yards through the air. They beat the Cowboys pretty handily. They gave up a lot of yards to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins yesterday. T. Higgins had 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 2 touchdowns. They went crazy on the Ravens defense. They really did. They went crazy on the Ravens defense. The Ravens have given up a lot of passing yards other than the Bills game because the Bills don't really have a lot of receivers. They got Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir and Curtis Samuel. But the Ravens give up a lot of passing yards. I think they're ranked 31st in passing yards allowed. So this could be another game. This probably will be another game where Jayden's going to have a lot of yards through the air again. And I'll go over all the advanced stats and historical stats. It's like every week Jayden has a historical stat. He did this since 1950. He did this since 1991. Or we did this since 1991. We did this since 1996. We did this since 2008. We haven't had a 4-1 start since 2008. Yada, yada, yada. So I'll go over all that stuff too because it's just cool to look at and see. It's fun to look at that stuff. But yeah, let me get back to comments. Like I said, it's very easy to just look at this Ravens game, but they are really bad defending the pass. They're really bad. Marlon Humphrey is their number 1 corner, and he's not going to be able to check any of our guys. I mean, we're going to be able to throw the ball. We are a running team. We're a do-it-all team. It doesn't really matter. But the Ravens, we're going to be able to move the football on the Ravens. It's going to be it has shootout potential again. The Ravens are 31st in passing yards allowed. They give up a lot of passing yards. They really do. All right, let's get to comments. And also just before getting, Jayden had a heck of a game again. B-Rob, 2 touchdowns. I don't know if the knee is bothering him. Didn't have a big game, but he did what we needed him to do. And then we had our home run hitter and Austin Eckler go out there when we needed big yards on the ground. The offensive line has just been ridiculously good. OG Bobby Johnson has been coaching these guys up. Tyler bad, you know what? He gave him no pressures, no sacks, no nothing. He had basically a perfect game. Like he had like a 90-something PFF grade or something ridiculous like that. Brandon Coleman and Cornelius Lucas, they continue to have great performances with their sharing snaps and whatnot, rotating snaps. Allegretti has been great. Andrew Wiley is having a career year. Sam Cosmi's doing what he does. The offensive line has just been awesome. They might be the biggest surprise of the year to me. And I know Jayden is a huge part of that, but we got to give credit to the offensive line as well. Kool-Aid says HTTR. Yes, they did. They were doing the wave in the stadium. That's how bad it got. We had to put Marcus Mariota in the ball game. That's how out of reach it got. When have we ever done that? Where we blown a team out, where we put the backup quarterback in? That's just something we never do. We see that on the other side, but us, we put our backup in the game. We were just like, get Jayden up out of there. He got sacked on like a 3rd and 12 or a 2nd and 12. And we were already up 31-6. And we're like, just get him out of there. There's no point of having him in there because they can't move the football at all. The Browns couldn't move the football at all. We just didn't need to put our we did not need to put our MVP candidate, offensive rookie of the year quarterback in harm's way. When we have a vision of making the playoffs, we have a vision of making winning the NFC East. We had to take him out of the game. 31-6, get him out of there. And Dan Quinn made a good decision by doing that. Josh Harris was on the sideline. The fans were doing the wave. I just heard it was a lit atmosphere and it was a home field advantage. It's that's stuff we don't see usually. We actually had a home field advantage, which I think we will. Number one selling jersey in the NFL right now is Jayden Daniels, and you're going to see a lot more of those in the city and a lot more of those in the stands and then just all over America right now because basically everybody's loving us right now. Everybody's loving us, but you gotta keep the outside noise out and focus on the prize. Eyes on the prize week by week. All right, Rhode Island Eat says, "Let's go, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir." Ric Flair, woo, like Frankie Louvu says. YT Randy said, "What's up, man? What's up, man? What's going on, man? I'm good, man. 4-1. We're feeling good right now. Feeling good. The college offense is looking awesome. The college offense is looking awesome right now. The college offense is looking awesome. A lot of quick throws, side passes, completion percentage high, and all that. Cliff Kingsbury's the OC. College offense is looking great. It's looking great. Tony, thank you for the donation, man. He says, Ed, have a couple of hot dogs on me. Be loud in Baltimore. Yes, I will. I will, man. I would be very, very loud. I know a lot of the Baltimore slang, so I'll be saying a lot of the to and you and just messing with Baltimore fans and stuff like that, making fun of them walking down the avenue and stuff like that, doing the Baltimore 2-step. I'll be making fun of a lot of Baltimore fans down there while I'm in the stands, enjoying myself at a game. And I expect to see a lot of Commanders fans down there. The last time we played in Baltimore, we won. It was a long time ago, 2016, with Jameson Crowder returning that punt for a touchdown. But it's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a great game. It's going to be a great matchup for years to come. It's unfortunate that we only play the Baltimore Ravens 4 times every year, which I think is ridiculous, but that's just the rules of the AFC and the NFC. And sometimes you play an AFC team like once, like there's like since there's 17 games, you play one of the AFC teams once. It just depends on where you finished in your division last year. Like we played the Jets last year we played the Jets because we played the whole AFC East. But we played somebody from the AFC. We play the Titans. We play the Titans this year. The only reason why we play the Titans is because we finished 4th in our division, and the Titans finished 4th in their division last year, if I'm not mistaken. That's like the new rule. They're gonna make 18 games so that we may play another AFC team again when they make that 18 game season rule or whatever. But I think we should play the Ravens more than what we do. I really do. And I remember Ravens fans, they can be a little annoying too, because I remember we beat them in the preseason when we broke their streak, and a lot of Ravens fans were being very annoying. They were like, trying to make fun of us and stuff like that. And they were salted that they lost the preseason game. They were salted the streak was broken. They really were. But Tony, yes. And then we had a joint practice last year. We got in a bunch of fights with the Ravens too. So I do remember that. Too. So we got to get these guys back. We really do. But yes, I will have a couple glizzies, man. I might get some tenders and stuff like that, but I will definitely have a lot of fun in Baltimore, man. I might have a lot of fun down there. Not too far from where I live for sure. So, but it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be an electric game. It really is. It's gonna be. I can see it being like it was last week with the Bengals and the Ravens. I can see 41-38. I can see 30. I think 30-25 is what I'm thinking, around that range. 31-23, 30-25. 35-31, something like that, because the Ravens defense is not good in my opinion. And our defense is getting better, but their offense is so good to the point where you got to stop Derrick Henry, you got to stop Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Like they have a lot of horsepower. We got a lot of horsepower too. So it's almost like an immovable object versus an unstoppable force. I forgot what the saying really is. I may be butchering the saying, but when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force with offenses, that's basically what is going to happen on Sunday. And it's really going to come down. I know the cliche may force a turnover, but it's going to come down to that. And we have to wall up on Derrick Henry. We cannot allow him to get a 90-yard run or 70-yard run. You just cannot let that happen. But Lamar's Lamar, so it's just going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Whether you're a fan of either team, this is going to be a heck of a game to watch. It is. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. But like I said, I do want to focus on the Browns game. But it's hard to get carried away. It's hard to get carried away. It really is. Outdoors with JV says, "What's up, Ed? Keep doing you doing straight facts. This is why I like your channel, man. Yes, I keep it real, man. When I don't like something, I keep it real. I say it, and when I like something, of course, I go out there and say it. I go out there and say it. I do want to make an Adam Peters video tomorrow, probably grading some of the moves that he's made so far. And just looking back at it through a quarter of the season is over. We're through 5 games of the season, so a quarter of the season is over. There are some things that I didn't like, but I see his vision now. Like Jahan Dotson, I wasn't the biggest fan of the trade, but hey, it looks like we fleeced the Eagles. We took their cookies with that trade. We got an extra 3rd round pick. The Dolphins, they may be losing more games, so that 3rd round pick is going to be even higher than what I thought. It might be at the top of the 3rd round. So, but like I said, yeah, thank you, man. Straight facts. That's what I try to keep it at. That's what I try to keep it at for sure. And we're balling right now, man. We're balling top of the NFC East, top of the NFL, all that. Eric said, "What's up, man? What's going on, fam? All hell HTTC." YT Rennie says Ravens game is going to be good. Jordan Wickland says playoffs. I just hope we can win a game. Hey, we're doing more than just hoping we can win a game. We're going into games knowing we're going to win. We're going into the games very, very confident. Very confident. It's been a long time since we've been able to do that. It's been a long time. Kool-Aid says, still worried about the run defense. The run defense actually did a good job. This was our best defensive game overall. I know the Browns are not great. I know they're one of the worst offensive teams in the league. They're the worst in the league on 3rd downs. I mean, in this show, they went 1 for 13. A lot of that was our defense, but a lot of that was Deshaun Watson being bad. And it's going to be tough to do that against Lamar. Lamar's not going 1 for 13 on 3rd downs. That's just not happening. We know that's not happening. But I love how Frankie Louva got that tackle on it was either Donta Foreman or Jerome Ford, one of those guys, or Pierre Strong. That was a big stop by Frankie Louva. And it was an arm tackle at that. And he was getting blocked. Like Frankie Louva was getting pushed, and he still tackled the guy and stopped him on the 4th down. That was a tone setter for the game. That was a tone. There was one play where Frankie Louva just bull rushed, and like we just manhandled their whole offensive line. We just man amongst boys, like people say, belt to you know what. We did that and just pushed their whole offensive line back and sacked Deshaun Watson. And you can see the Browns' body language. Like Amari Cooper gave up. You can see that Jerry Jeudy gave up. Deshaun Watson gave up. Kevin Stefanski gave up. They waved the white flag on that 4th and goal. They really did. They could have went for it. You know, if it was Cliff and Jayden, they would have went for it on 4th and goal. But the Browns, they waved the white flag. They just gave up. They had to delay a game. They had 12 men on the field. They just looked like a team that wasn't ready to play. And we took, like I said, belt to you know what, and finished them all. We smelled blood. We went for the kill. We did what we were supposed to do, and we didn't let them off the hook. We got them up out the way. Ted Lucas, thank you for the donation. He says, if the defense can slow down both Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, it would be a big confidence boost for our defense moving forward. That would be huge. I mean, our defense has been pretty darn good. I do want to look at some of the defensive rankings here, and I think we're starting to move up a little bit. We are 13th in passing yards allowed. Oh, my gosh, that's insane. Like, at first, like 2 weeks ago, before the Cardinals game, after the Bengals game, we were probably almost dead last. We were probably 30th in the league, 32nd, 31, 31st. Like, we were one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL. Like, every team knew when they played against the Commanders, and that's the thing. Joe Witt Jr. is getting better. He knows his personnel. Emmanuel Forbes only played 4 snaps. So I don't know if that was by design, like if Joe Witt Jr. has decided now that Emmanuel Forbes is going to get limited snaps, or it could be, every game is different. Michael Davis, he gets 0 snaps, and that's the way it should be. Noah I is playing better. Ben St. Juice is doing his job. He may give up a big play here and there, but Ben St. Juice is our best corner. And the pass rush, Dorrance Armstrong is getting home. He's starting to tackle. Dante Fowler is wrapping up. Frankie Lou was like another pass rusher out there. Fedarian Mathis, my goodness, he had a heck of a game. He had a couple batted balls. He had a batted pass down. He was stopping the run. He was playing good football. Bobby Wagner got in the mix and got a half a sack. Deron Payne got in the mix. John Allen got in the mix. So guys are starting to wrap up and tackle and really get home and really pinning their ears back and getting to the quarterback. Like, because we got to the quarterback against Baker, we just couldn't wrap him up. And then Joe Burrow, we had no pass rush. And then the Cardinals, we had pass rush against them. We were getting to Kyler Murray. We started to tackle. So these guys are starting to wake up, man. They're starting to wake up. They're starting to communicate better. They're getting more chemistry together out there. Jeremy Chin is starting to tackle. Like Jeremy Chin was awful in the first 2 games of the year. He's starting to tackle. He played better against the Bengals. He's playing really well. Quan Martin should have had that interception, but he's playing better. He's playing well. He went out the game, but he was cleared to play, so he should be ready to go. Noah I is playing well. So I mean, I think Joe Witt Jr. has found his guys. I think he's found the guys that he wants to play the most, and he's getting the best out of these guys. And it just took a couple games to gel. Like Bobby Wagner, he looked like he was out of shape in that game against the Buccaneers. And now he looks like he's got his wind under him, and he's playing good football. Frankie Louv was a dog. He's a dog. He's making a Pro Bowl this year. He's on pace. Like he should be NFC Defensive Player of the Week. I'm trying to look and see if anybody else had a better game than him in the NFC defensively. But I think Bobby Wagner, like, because they the forced fumble on Deshaun Watson. At first, they called it an interception. Then they changed it to a fumble recovery. I think that if they would have ruled that as an interception, I think that would clearly make him the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. But I think anyway, he'll still get it. He had 2.5 sacks, not sackles, but 2.5 sacks, seven tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery as well. I mean, he was just a man amongst boys. He dominated out there. Bobby Wagner, 1.5 sacks, 6 tackles, 3 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Jonathan Allen, 1 sack, 4 tackles. Quan Martin, 4 tackles, 1 pass deflection. It should have been an interception. Mikey Sandry still, he set the tone too. When he lowered that shoulder on Deshaun didn't like that. But Mikey wanted that smoke, though. And I loved how his teammates defended him too. Like, as Deshaun pushed him and everybody came over. And I was like, guys, chill out. Let's not get a penalty. Let's get off the field on 3rd down. But I love how the team had Mikey's back, because Mikey lowered that shoulder on Deshaun. Deshaun didn't want that smoke. He didn't want that smoke at all. And that really set the tone for the game right there. That was in the first quarter, I believe, right there. That was in the first quarter. But to answer your statement, Ted, slowing down Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is going to be a tall task. It is what it is. It's going to be a tall task. I mean, basically kind of like how it was, like, when we went to the week against the Bengals, we were like, we need to slow down Jamar Chase. But we weren't able to really do that. But our offense was so good, and where we just beat them because our offense was so good. We had to go for it on 4th downs. We had to control the clock. We're going to have to control the clock again. We're going to have to convert on 3rd downs. Obviously, we're going to have to convert on some 4th downs. I think we're going to have to convert on at least 2 4th downs, kind of like the Bengals game. How many 4th downs did we convert against the Browns? Because I think the winning formula for us is convert at least 2 3rd downs when you look at it. When we convert at least 2 3rd downs, that's probably a win for us. Yeah, we were 2 for 2 on 3rd down. On 4th down. We were 2 for 2 on 4th down. So I think if we convert at least 2 4th downs, I think we should definitely be within range to win the game, if not win the game. And I think that's the winning formula for us. There's just going to be some times we're going to have to go for it on 4th down. And the Ravens, they will go for it on 4th down too, because they have a quarterback just like us that can win with his legs and take your soul on 4th and 3, 4th and 5. They got the same guy, Lamar Jackson, that can do similar things and can run the football. So 4th down defense is going to be huge too. Just for the Ravens, they're going to have to defend us all 4 downs. We're going to have to defend the Ravens all 4 downs. But slowing down Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry against the Bengals actually did a good job on Derrick Henry for the most part in that game, but he had a really, really big run towards the end. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I'm going to try to watch the replay. And but I'm pretty sure that Derrick Henry was bottled up, because I was watching the stats, and Derrick Henry didn't really go crazy until the end of the game. So, but yeah, we have to gang tackle. It's going to be a big game for Frankie. Jordan McGee, keep an eye on him. Will he be available? This will definitely be a big task. First game back as a rookie to go up against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. That would be a really good baptism game for Jordan McGee if he does get a lot of snaps. So that would be interesting right there. But all hands on deck this game. All hands on deck. Tackling Derrick Henry, stopping him, bottling him up is going to be huge. And then we're just going to be very disciplined with Lamar Jackson. We're going to have to be very disciplined with Lamar Jackson for sure. So it's going to be tough to slow those guys down. Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, and Mark Andrews, they got a really good team. We have a darn good team. They got horses, but we got horses too. Jay Hunter Lee, what's up, man? Thank you for the donation. He says, "What's good, Ed? I didn't hear Form's name call yesterday, so let's go over the snaps real quick. We're going to go over the snap count. I have that. I do have the PFF grades as well. So we're going to go over that real quick and go over the snap count. But yes, Emmanuel Forbes did not get many snaps. And like I said, there may be a game where Emmanuel Forbes plays a lot. You just never know. But Joe Witt Jr. right now with his rotation, because Forbes did play against the Cardinals. Like he had a good amount. He had a good amount of snaps against the Cardinals. I do want to look at the snap count against the Cardinals too, and just kind of compare how many snaps that Emmanuel Forbes got. But he only got 4 snaps, so he only played 60% of the game. Michael Davis had 4 snaps, but I believe that was special teams. Ben St. Juste played 58 snaps, 94% of the game. Mikey Sanders still had 56 snaps, 90% of the game. Noah I played 54 snaps, 87% of the game. And the Browns have good receivers. Like Amari Cooper's a good receiver, and Jerry Jeudy's a good receiver. Elijah Moore's a good receiver. David Njoku is a good tight end. Like the Browns have weapons. Like the Browns on paper are a very talented team, in my opinion. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, Grant Delpit, JOK. Like they have a good team on paper. The quarterback play is just awful, and the offensive line is really bad. And we're just a better team, so we just really expose them. But yes, to get back to Emmanuel Forbes, I mean, hey, it is what it is with him right now. I think, does he deserve at least 20 snaps? Hey, we'll see. I think that will work, honestly. But it's up to Joe Witt Jr., so I'm not going to question him. But I think against the Ravens, they don't have crazy receivers. It's more about the tight ends and Zay Flowers for the most part. So I think this is a game where Emmanuel Forbes can play and get more snaps than just 4 snaps. I mean, we'll see, but he's got to tackle. That's the thing too. He's got to really tackle Derrick Henry, and I did like some of the effort that he had against the Cardinals, where he was trying to tackle James Conner. Like he didn't tackle James Conner. He kind of like did stuff that would lead to the other guy getting a tackle, like just kind of being in the area, being in the vicinity. But I could see Emmanuel Forbes going up against Derrick Henry. That's like triple his size, honestly. That is triple his size. So we'll see if Emmanuel Forbes does play. We'll see. That will be interesting to see him in the run game getting stops, going up against Emmanuel Forbes. Derrick Henry. That will be interesting to see. But yeah, Noah I's playing better, and Ben St. Juste, they're playing better. So, and Mikey Sanders still. So those are the 3 guys that are going to get majority of the snaps out there. That's what Joe Witt Jr. has decided to go with. So I can't really blame him for that. I can't really blame him for that. Tony says, hey, nobody experienced us to be relevant or expected us to be relevant. Yeah, nobody did. Nobody really did. A lot of people had us going under the 6.5 wins. And we are already at the 4-win mark, which is, guess how many wins we had last year? We went 4-13. We're already at 4 wins. We're on pace to get 10 to 11 wins. And I believe we're going to get double-digit wins for sure. At minimum, I see us getting 10 wins. At minimum, I see us getting 10 wins. At minimum, for sure. So, yeah, nobody expected us to be this good at this point. Nobody expected Jayden to hit the ground running. Like, we all knew Jayden was going to be good, but I didn't know that he was going to turn up like this. Like, he really has turned up. Like, when he went to the sideline, when he got that first down, when he converted the 4th down, I think it was a 4th and 3, he ran for a first down. He told Cliff, he said, hey, they're man-to-man right now. They can't hold us. They can't see us right now. And it was kind of similar to the Jets preseason game when Cliff made a call. But he told Cliff, he was like, we're man-to-man. And then Cliff, said, hey, let's make this play. And that's why I love the relationship right now with Jayden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury. I love their relationship right now. They have a great relationship. They have a very healthy relationship where they believe in each other. And if Jayden has a call or whatever he wants to do, you just let the young man go ahead and do his thing. You let Jayden go ahead and do his thing. So he saw the mismatch with De'Ami Brown. Shout out to De'Ami Brown. Put that in the documentary. De'Ami, I gave De'Ami a hard time about coming out with a documentary and barely doing anything in his career. But De'Ami Brown, that was a heck of a catch. I mean, that was like a handoff. That was like dropping the ball in the bucket there. That was a beautiful pass by Jayden Daniels, and that was a great route by De'Ami. That was what De'Ami did in North Carolina. Just run straight. Just run to the end zone. Run to the end zone. And Sam Howell would throw it up there, and he would catch it. And that's basically what Jayden did. But it was a beautiful ball from Jayden Daniels. Beautiful call by Jayden Daniels and Cliff as well. Great recognition by Jayden Daniels as well, but just perfect. I mean, like I said, we have a quarterback that's just wise beyond his years, maturity wise, football wise, reading defenses as we see, running to throw, keeping his eyes down the field. Like, he's getting better each game, which is just scary. And the funny thing is, because everybody keeps saying like, oh, defenses are going to adjust. defenses are going to adjust to Jay, but nah, Jay's adjusting the defenses every week. He's the guy that's making adjustments to what he sees, to what people are trying to do to him. He's making adjustments as well. So defense they can adjust all they want, but you can't hit what you can't catch. Because 4th and 3, he's taking your soul away as well. All right. Trust the process says Luva is our tribal chief. Yeah, he is doing that haka or whatever they call it, the haka or whatever it's called. That Hawaii would do and stuff like that. That's basically what he does. And I love it. I'm here for it. I really do. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love Frankie Louvu, man. He's playing good ball. He's playing at an all-pro level right now. The last 2 weeks, ball is life for him. He has a knack of forcing turnovers. We got a guy that forces turnovers. He gets to the quarterback. How many sacks does Frankie have on the season? Like, Frankie can fool around and have a 10-sack season. He can fool around and have a double-digit sack season. He can really fool around and do that at this point. I think he's on pace to do that, if I'm not mistaken, too. Frankie has 3 sacks right now. So he has 3 sacks, which is fine, but he's getting there. He has a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. I think an interception is going to come his way. He's going to get a pick before the season is all said and done as well. But Frankie Lou was balling. He's balling right now. He's the best defender on the team right now. He's the best defender on the team. And it is hard to say like who the best offseason pickup is other than the draft. Like who's the best free agent acquisition? You can go with Austin Eckler. You can go with Tyler Biadasz. You can go with Frankie Louvu. Like, there's so many guys that you can throw in there right now to say, like, who was the best free agent acquisition? Like, all the like, Jeremy Nichols is in the mix. He's not the best one, of course. But even him, like, he's in the mix. Like, he's balling. He has 3 touchdowns on the season. In a 40-game span, he had 1 touchdown before the Cardinals game. And then now through 2 games, he has 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's just how we're just making guys better. OG Bobby Johnson, you could throw him in the mix as a free agent coach acquisition. Even him, he's out there balling right now. He came from the Giants. We got him out of poverty, and OG Bobby Johnson's coaching guys up. So Adam Peters, he just has that magic touch right now. He has that magic touch. All right, I want to give a quick shout out to BetUS guys real quick. Shout out to BetUS. Make sure you guys sign up with BetUS. They have a great deal going on, a great promo code, YouTube150. All new users, you get 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 on your first deposit, and then you get 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. You get 10% back on your net losses twice a year. Live wagering on all major games, and they got prop builder on there, so you guys can do a same game parlay or singles. You can do straights, all kinds of stuff on there. They got specials on there, a lot of deals going on BetUS. So make sure you guys check out BetUS using promo code YouTube150. So just looking at the game and the recapping the game on BetUS, the total was 44.5 when we smashed that. What did the score end up being? 31-14 or something like that. What was the score? 31-14. It was 34-13. So 34 plus 13 is 47. So we went over on that. If Jayden would have played the whole game, we probably would have put 40. I wanted to put 50 on them. I wanted to put a 50 burger on them. But they had class and they were smart and they took Jayden out of the game. So I respected what Dan Quinn did. I probably would have did the same thing because you just don't want to put your MVP candidate quarterback at risk, or your top quarterback, your great quarterback at risk at all in that situation when you're already winning the game. And you do kind of want to have some sort of class there. But we did go over 44.5. The spread was -3. We smashed that. And money line, we were -180 to win. We smashed that as well. But I do want to look at some of the player props here. Terry McLaurin, I didn't give any picks before the game, really, because I just didn't. The matchup was kind of weird. I actually thought it was going to be 23-17. That was my prediction. So I would have predicted them to go under the 44.5. But I didn't wager that. My wagers were B-Rob anytime touchdown scorer. So I hit on that. Of course, he had 2 touchdowns. I wagered on Jayden Daniels to get a touchdown. He didn't get a touchdown, which was odd, but I think he's going to get a touchdown against the Ravens. So I would definitely bet on him to get a touchdown. And then Jayden Daniels over rushing yards. I did not wager on that, but he smashed that. He smashed the passing yards. I'm going to take the over on the passing yards against the Ravens because the Ravens' pass defense is not good. But I do expect BetUS to raise his pass yards to at least 225. I think that's what they're going to set it up instead of 206 passing yards to get the over on that. I think they're going to bump it up to 225, and I do have him getting the over on 225 passing yards for sure. But I did get the over on Terry McLaurin with 51.5. He ended up with 100 receiving yards. I think once again he's going to get that again against the Ravens because the Ravens can't stop the pass, and they don't have an answer for Terry with their corners. Like I said earlier, like Marlon Humphrey, guys like that. They're not, Nate Wiggins, their rookie corner. He's solid, but they're not going to stop Terry. Luke McCaffrey gets open all the time too, and if Noah Brown plays, I think he'll have a good game. We got guys. We got a good committee of receivers. And then another wager I put in was I think it was Austin Eckler over 2.5 receptions. He only ended up with 2 because it was a blowout. So a lot of the picks that I had didn't really hit because of the blowout. And I did have Amari Cooper going over 50 receiving yards. Amari Cooper did hit that. My early picks is Zay Flowers to go over receiving yards for the Ravens game. So I'm already going to give him my picks. I'm going to have Terry going over receiving yards, Zay Flowers going over receiving yards, probably Derrick Henry going over his rush yards, whatever they put the rush yards at. I'll probably take the over on Derrick Henry next week on Bet US, and I'll take B-Rob anytime touchdown scorer, and Jayden Daniels anytime touchdown scorer as well, and Derrick Henry anytime touchdown scorer. So those will be my early picks for next week. The odds have not come out yet, but those are just going to be my easy layup shoe-in picks to take there for next week against the Ravens for sure to look at. So, all right, Jay, like I said, always check out BetUS, promo code YouTube 150. So let's get back to the comments here. And I know Monday Night Football is coming on at 8:15, so I want you guys to enjoy that for sure. So I'm not going to keep you guys on here past 8:15. I'll probably wrap it up around 8:15, 8:20. Saints versus the Chiefs. So we'll see that. I know we're going to see a lot of Taylor Swift in the on the TV for sure tonight. I think Travis Kelce is going to have a good game. But Tony Campus, what's up, man? Is it a hostile environment in Baltimore? I think it will be, but I think a lot of Commanders fans, if that's what you were asking, Tony, or commenting about, will it be hostile in Baltimore? We'll see. Grande grew, exclamation point. Well said, man. Well said. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Very well said. John Surratt says Jeremy McNichols has been balling. Yes, let's go over some of the PFF grades here real quick because I always do the PFF grades, studs and duds and whatnot. I really don't think there was any duds for the most part. I mean, I really don't think there's any duds. I mean, trying to think if there was any duds. I mean, maybe like if there was anything to say a dud, excuse me, was the first quarter offense. And the first quarter offense wasn't even that bad. It was just the interception by Jayden, and he made up for it. Like nothing phases him. Like he'll throw an interception and he'll move on to the next play. And once again, that just shows the maturity of Jayden Daniels. Like the Arizona game, he threw an interception, and guess what? He just moved on, and we went down the field and scored again. So, and he got sacked on one of the first possessions of the game. That didn't phase him either. He got sacked, and they were stopping the run. But our highest graded PFF player was guess who? Cornelius Lucas. Like he's been balling, man. Like he really has. He's been balling. He really has. Jeremy McNichols was second highest with a 75.8 PFF grade, 76.6 pass blocking grade. So Jeremy McNichols did a really good job in pass protection. 74.1 running grade. He had the touchdown where he put a hat on a hat. He just bulldozing guys. Offensive line, they were just bullying guys. Very physical football. Love the smash mouth football they were playing on the red zone just throughout the whole game. Austin Eckler, that was a heck of a run that he had. That was like the highest. That was like the longest run that we've seen since Darius Geis, which is insane. I think that was the Darius Geis run against the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. Like that was the longest run that we've had since then. That's a long time, guys. And Austin Eckler did that pretty easily in the fifth game of the season. He did that, but he did fumble at the end of the run. I was upset with Austin about that he fumbled. Because if you look at the camera, like they show Austin looks back. He's still running. The guy slapped down on the football. But Olamide Zaccheaus came out of nowhere and recovered the fumble. So Olamide Zaccheaus, he deserves a game ball to me just for that. The punt return was really good that he had. That put us on the Browns 33. And Olamide just does the little things. Like he does stuff that just doesn't show up on the stat sheet, honestly. Like he does little things like that. Olamide, even him, like I was talking about free agent acquisitions earlier by Adam Peters. That was a good pickup. Olamide had a good week last week. He didn't stuff the stat sheet like he did last week, but this week he made some huge plays. Like that would have been a momentum killer if Austin Eckler fumbled it, and obviously if the Browns would have got it, that would have been a momentum killer for sure. We still would have won the game, but Olamide doing that, and he was because Jay Gruden showed the play on Twitter, like the All 22. Olamide was running a fake jet sweep, and then they handed it off to Eckler. And Olamide could have just sat there and been like, yeah, just go, and been a cheerleader. But nah, he was running behind Austin Eckler, and Austin Eckler fumbled, and Olamide ran and went on the fumble and picked it up. So that was a huge play by Olamide Zaccheaus. Jayden Daniels had a 71.8 PFF grade. He had a 68.2 passing grade and a 69.0 running grade. Of course, to the eye test, I mean, he had a better passing grade, in my opinion, than 68.2. But he did have a lot of incompletions. He did throw an interception. He did miss Zach Ertz on a throw. He did. He missed Zach Ertz on a throw. He missed Luke McCaffrey a couple times. He was open. But other than that, he still got an A from me. The interception in the beginning of the game, that probably hurt him a little bit. But other than that, he got an A plus from me. The pass to De'Ami Brown, the pass to Terry, the pass that Terry dropped in the end zone, the pass to Luke McCaffrey for the first down, the pass to Terry in the beginning of the game where he ran to the outside. I mean, he still had an A plus to me in my opinion. So Tyler Biadasz had a 71.5 PFF grade and an 84.5 pass blocking grade. That is a really, really good grade. That's a really good grade. 84.5 pass blocking grade for Tyler Biadasz. Sam Cosmi had a 58.5 pass blocking grade, which is not great. 70.5 overall grade and a 70.5 run blocking grade. Luke McCaffrey had a 66.6 offensive grade and a 65.8 pass blocking grade. A lot of people are talking about how Luke McCaffrey had that really, really nice block on the B-Rob touchdown where B-Rob just manhandled somebody to get the touchdown. He broke that tackle and got the touchdown in the beginning of the game to put us on the board. So Luke McCaffrey had a heck of a block. He had a 79.5 run blocking grade, which is insane, which is really, really high for anybody. So Luke McCaffrey, he's doing a really good job in the run blocking grade. He's in the run blocking game. He really has improved each week. John Bates with a 65.6 PFF grade. Terry McLaurin with a 65.4. Nick Allegretti with a 66.2 pass blocking grade, which is solid. Colson Yankov had one snap with a 60.0 PFF grade. Trent Scott, 60.0. He was in there as an eligible receiver on one play when they did the bootleg to Jayden and Jayden ran for the first down. Trent Scott was in there to be an eligible receiver. Bryson Tremaine got 5 snaps. He had to play. He had a 59.1 PFF grade. Brandon Coleman had a 58.0 pass blocking grade, and Brandon Coleman had a 42.7 pass blocking grade, which is pretty darn bad. But like I said, from what I saw from Brandon Coleman, I thought he was fine. But he had a 42.7 pass blocking grade per PFF. Andrew Wiley had a 68.4 pass blocking grade. Andrew Wiley's been balling this year. Ben Sinnott had a 76.4 pass blocking grade. So Ben Sinnott did a great job out there blocking. And Michael Dieter had a 76.7 pass blocking grade. B-Rob had a 54.9 PFF grade overall. Austin Eckler had a 54.2. Zach Ertz had a 33.0 PFF grade, 41.4 passing grade or grade in the pass game, 30.2 run blocking grade. Zach Ertz did have a drop where it was close to a fumble. It was very close to a fumble. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the refs made a right call. That was not a fumble, but it was very, very close. It was very close. He did have 2 drops. And Jayden had to hold Zach Ertz back because Zach Ertz almost lost his cool when he was going back and forth with a Browns player after the drop that was almost a fumble. But Zach Ertz was the worst graded player on PFF. But Zach Ertz has had a really good season so far. Marcus Mariota was the second worst graded PFF player on the offense with a 49.8 PFF grade. So not surprised. Like Marcus Mariota, I don't even think he threw a pass in the game. Did he throw a pass? He threw 3 passes. He was 1 for 3 for a -2 yards. Like I don't think he threw a pass past the line of scrimmage, like at all. They didn't let Marcus do anything. Like they decided to just Marcus, just don't lose the game, just don't turn the ball over. That's about it. That's what they decided to do with Marcus Mariota, and that was fine. It didn't really matter. But yes, do we need a better backup quarterback in the future? I think we do. I mean, Sam Hartman may step up. Hopefully we don't have to ever see the backup, but you just never know what could happen, especially with the NFL season may turn into 18 games. So it's more important to have at least comparable or a capable backup. I'll just say that it's imperative to have a capable backup. And I don't know if Marcus Mariota is a capable backup, but like I said, hopefully we never have to see the backup. But like I said, once again, the NFL probably will be transitioning to 18 games. 17 games is a pretty long season too. So you just never know. You always have to be prepared at all times. You just always have to be prepared. Schmo says, give Diami his props. Hey, like I said, man, go ahead and make another documentary. Go ahead and do it. I'm fine with another documentary. I didn't watch the first one because, like I said, Diami, I just didn't trust it because he always has 12 catches in one season. Like his career high is 12 catches. And his career high will be like a 100 yards in a season, and then he'll have like a random touchdown in the middle of the year or something like that. So that's what we got from Diami. Like I just didn't believe in the hype. But he's playing well. He's playing his role. He's playing good football. That was a great catch by Diami. Way to track the ball. I mean, that was a beautiful pass by Jayden anyway. But Diami's been patient, man. He has. He's been very patient. He's done whatever they asked him to do, whether it's block or catch the screen. Like he's one of our better receivers in the screen game. Like I think he's better than Terry in the screen. I mean, that's the only thing he's better at than Terry at anything. Like the end around to Terry where Terry fumbled, like Terry doing the screen passes to Terry in the game against the Giants, those just didn't work. But Diami he's pretty darn good in the screen game. Like he was good in the screen game against the Bengals too. So screens to Diami, I like it. I like screen passes to Diami. I like those. And Diami, that was a heck of a play, heck of a catch as well. Glenn Ari says Brandon Coleman shut him down. Yeah, Brandon and Cornelius Lucas. Let's not forget about Cornelius. Cornelius had a good game. He had a great game. Cornelius had the better game, honestly. But they both have been playing good football. Like he did a good job against Myles Garrett. For a rookie to go out there and play against Myles Garrett, like that says a lot, man. It says a lot. So he did a good job. Looking at the snaps that he did have against Myles Garrett, he only had like 6 snaps where he was really matched up against Myles Garrett. They did chip Myles Garrett a couple times, like Jeremy McNichols helped on one play. But and then Brandon Coleman, he was guarding Myles Garrett on the touchdown pass to De'Ami Brown. But Jayden got the ball out so quick, it really didn't matter. So Jayden just knew what was going to happen. Like the pre-snap read, the pre-play read, like he knew that play to De'Ami was going to happen, that matchup. When he ran for the first down, he was like, hey, they're playing man. So Jayden already had that in his mind, like plays before that. Like he was going to do that to De'Ami, or he was going to, exploit a mismatch for sure. But yes, Brandon Coleman did a good job. Like I said, Brandon Coleman, he didn't grade well per PFF, but like I said, PFF is not gospel, but it is a good measuring stick. But Cornelius Lucas, he had a great game per PFF. He was the highest graded player on the team. He had an 80.3 and had a 72.8 pass ball grade. That's why I would love for it to just be one guy instead of rotating guys at the left tackle spot. And instead of doing, mix and matching or whatever they're doing, like because Brandon Coleman played, how many snaps did he play? He got the start as well, which was different because Cornelius Lucas has been starting for the most part. That was the first time this year that Brandon Coleman started. And it's crazy because Brandon Coleman didn't play in the preseason. He didn't play in any of the joint practices, and he didn't play in the preseason. And he looks like he's already up to speed and playing good football. But Cornelius Lucas played 33 snaps. Brandon Coleman played 33 snaps. So they were dead even with the snaps. That's insane. Because if you look at everybody else, Tyler Biadasz played 66 snaps, like for all the starters, because of course we put the backups in there. Sam Cosmi played 66 snaps. Jayden Daniels only played 57 snaps. Not only 57 snaps, but he played 57 snaps. Diami played 36 snaps. Cornelius Lucas played 33 snaps. Nick Allegretti played 57 snaps. I think Michael Dieter got in there and played a little bit. Michael Dieter played 9 snaps. So Lucas and Coleman, like they legit split the snaps, 33 and 33. So I think they're going to do the same thing again against the Ravens. And but we'll see how long it continues. Like I said, when we really get into the playoff, like that real stretch of the playoffs, like November, December, like by that time is Dan Quinn, Bobby Johnson, and Cliff, are they going to decide on one guy to play all those snaps instead of breaking it up and doing 33 or 40 snaps for Coleman, 40 snaps for Lucas? Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm with it. Like if that's working for the whole season and you're having Lucas play here and Coleman play X amount of snaps, I'm fine with it as long as we keep winning. But I do think eventually they do need to make a decision on who's going to play all the snaps at left tackle. But like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep doing what you're doing. OG Bobby Johnson, keep doing what you're doing. Cliff, keep doing what you're doing. Dan Quinn, keep doing what you're doing. Brandon Coleman, and also Cornelius Lucas. Outdoors with JV says, I feel like we need Luke in more plays, like give him the ball more. What you think? He has potential to be a top wide receiver on the team. Yeah, I do. I mean, he's top 5, top 10 in separation percentage. So, I mean, he deserves more targets. And also, I do want to say, Luke, when he catches the football, it's fun to say that because I think the last time we had a player to say like Luke or stuff like that was Fred Smoot saying Smoot, and then Chris Cooley saying Cooley. So that was the last time we were able to do that. We actually have a player. So all that aside, anyway, but Luke McCaffrey's playing good football. He was open frequently against the Browns, but I think him and Jayden will connect more. That was a heck of a catch by Luke McCaffrey. The guy was basically hanging on his back, and it was like an and one, like get up off me, and he still hung onto the football and converted that first down. So Luke McCaffrey makes some really, really tough catches. He's just like his dad, Ed McCaffrey. Ed McCaffrey was at the game, of course. He was in the stands. Like Ed McCaffrey, it's not like he was in a box or a suite because they showed Jayden's mom. Jayden's mom was in a suite. Ed McCaffrey was in the mix. He was in the crowd. He was with the fans, with everybody. You know, typically you see players' parents, like they're in suites or whatever. Like Jayden Daniels' mom was in a suite. But Ed McCaffrey was in the mix. He was in the mix. He was with all the fans and whatnot. He was standing there and with the fans. But Luke McCaffrey, yes, to answer your statement and your question, I do think he needs to get the ball more. How many snaps did Luke have? And he's been a mauler in the run game. Like the block that he had for the B-Rob touchdown, that was a heck of a block there as well. So Luke McCaffrey, he's getting better each week. And like I said, the receivers that we have is a receiver by committee. And that's why I think we're good on acquiring a receiver. I don't think we need to trade for a wide receiver. I know there's been a lot of smoke about us possibly being interested in trading for a receiver, but I think the guys that we got are good enough. I really do. Luke McCaffrey played 43 total snaps, 23 passing snaps, and 19 run blocking snaps that he was in there for. It had a 79.5 run blocking grade as well. But yeah, he's getting open. I think Jayden will get him the ball more. The Bengals game, he had that big catch on the 4th down where he converted and he almost got a touchdown. So I think Luke will get the ball more as the season goes on. Jordan Wickline says, I think Brandon Coleman is our franchise left tackle, not going to win. I think so too. He's had a couple up and down games. Like the Giants game, he struggled, but he was really good against Trey Hendrickson. And the Cardinals game, he was really good. This game, I didn't see him struggle at all, really, honestly. I thought he did a good job. But Cornelius Lucas has been playing really, really well as well. But I think Coleman definitely will be the franchise left tackle. But for this draft to come out with a franchise quarterback and potentially a franchise left tackle, I mean, that would be insane. And who else from this draft class has made an impact? Mikey Sanders still is getting better each game. Ben Sinnott, we gotta get him involved a little bit more. There's a lot of mouths to feed on the roster right now that Cliff has to feed and Jayden has to feed. But right now, I'm not complaining that Ben Sinnott is not lighting the world on fire. I'm fine. He's doing a good job in the run game blocking. So he'll get there. And then who else is in this draft class? Johnny Newton. I think he's getting better each week as well, getting healthier and healthier. And this draft class is looking pretty darn good. It's looking like a really, really good class for sure. If you can come out, like I said, if you can come out with a franchise quarterback and a franchise left tackle, then that you won the draft for sure. Chief in Session says we will beat the Ravens. I believe you. I don't doubt this team anymore. I really don't. I don't doubt this team anymore. I think we can hang toe to toe with any team in the NFL at this point. You got to stop our offense. You got to stop Jayden. You got to stop B-Rob, and it's really tough to do. You got to stop Terry. You got to stop Austin. You got to stop Jeremy. You got to stop Zach Ertz, and it's really hard to do. You know, we're coming at teams full force. Like we didn't even play well in the first quarter. We still put up 34 points. We didn't even play. Our starters didn't play the whole game. We still put up 34 points. We put up 42 points against the Cardinals. We kind of took our foot off the gas with about 6 minutes left against the Cardinals. We took our foot off the gas with 15 minutes left in the football game against the Browns. We don't punt. We put up 38 on the Bengals on the road. We're the best offensive football. We just are. We're the best offensive football right now, and we can say that with our chest. No hesitation. We are the best offensive football. This college offense, is the best offensive football. There's a comparison right now: Pat Mahomes versus Jayden Daniels, who Pat Mahomes is about to play right now. Jayden Daniels has 1,435 total yards, 77.1 completion percentage, compared to Pat Mahomes' 68.6 completion percentage. Jayden has 8 total touchdowns compared to Pat Mahomes' 6 total touchdowns, and he only has 2 interceptions, and Pat Mahomes has thrown 5 interceptions. Jayden Daniels has 106.3 passer rating compared to Pat Mahomes' 89.7 quarterback rating or passer rating right now. So those are MVP numbers right there. Jayden Daniels right now, if the season ended today, in my opinion, I think Jayden Daniels would win the MVP. That's just my opinion. The only people against him right now is really Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, really. And that's really it, honestly. Other than that, other than Sam Darnold and the guys that I named, like Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, those guys, that's really it. CJ Stroud is in the mix too. Right now, Jayden Daniels is plus 1,100 to win the MVP. So his MVP odds are going down or going up, with whichever way you want to take it. His MVP odds are really becoming real. Jayden Daniels currently has more passing yards than Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers as well. He has more rushing yards, 300 rushing yards. He has more rushing yards than Jahmyr Gibbs, B. John Robinson, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Najee Harris. He has more rushing touchdowns than Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, and also Devin Achane. He has 4 rushing touchdowns, 300 rushing yards at this point, 1,135 passing yards right now. I mean, it's Jayden's world, and we're living in it at this point. He has a higher QBR than Lamar Jackson, C.J. Stroud, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, and Kirk Cousins right now with a 73.2 quarterback rating. So you look at those numbers right now, he legit has a case to win MVP. He legit has a case to win MVP. Like I said, it's very early still, but I mean, you just can't ignore the numbers. Rate of drives to reach the end zone, rate of drives to reach the red zone for a score or a touchdown. This season, we have a 58% of finishing drives right now. Like, other than that Giants game where we kicked a bunch of field goals, we've been finishing in the red zone. We held Deshaun Watson to an 8.6 QBR, which is just insane. Like, you have to be really bad to have an 8.6 QBR. That's just ridiculous. We had Deshaun Watson seeing ghosts. We had that man seeing ghosts. Like Dorrance Armstrong, like he hit stick Deshaun Watson was running around. Dorrance Armstrong came out of nowhere and hit him in his chin. What other stats do I have before we wrap it up, guys? Hold on 1 second. What other stats do I have for you guys before we wrap it up? Myles Garrett, zero sacks, 0 tackles, 0 everything. I talked about that already. 1 for 13 on third downs. We held the Browns to that. And let me see if I got some of the defenses PFF grades, and I'll wrap it up for that. Stud. Like I said, I really don't have any duds for this game at all. I really don't. I don't have any duds at all. I mean, maybe just a couple plays, but other than that, I don't have any duds. I don't have any guys that were really legit duds on the team. Like I said, I'm not going to force. Like last week, I kind of had a force to say like who was a dud. One person said Ben Sinnott, and I was like, yeah, I don't disagree because he had a penalty. But other than that, it's not like he really was a dud this year. This game, we don't have any duds either. Like Frankie Louisville had an 80.6 PFF grade. He was our top rated defensive player per PFF. Dorrance Armstrong with a 79.0. Frankie Louisville had a 91.6 pass rushing grade as well. So he was just awesome out there. Who else? Dorrance Armstrong had an 87.3 pass rushing grade. Deron Payne had a 76.8 PFF grade. Like I was telling you guys, Deron Payne and John Allen literally did rock, paper, scissors. Who was going to stay on the field? Like, that's how much fun they were having out there. Quan Mark had a 75.6 PFF grade. He did a really good job. John Allen with a 72.9 PFF grade. Bobby Wagner with a 72.6. Noah I with a 72.2. And a 79.4 tackling grade. 80.7 tackling grade for Bobby Wagner. 84.9 pass rush grade for Bobby Wagner as well, because he was getting back there, getting to Deshaun Watson. Ben St. Juste with a 69.0 PFF grade. Javonte John Baptiste with a 68.1 PFF grade. 73.2 run defensive grade, and a 69.2 tackling grade. Mikey Sanders still with a 67.4 PFF grade, which is pretty good. Who else? Derek Forrest had 4 special team snaps. Michael Davis had 4 special team snaps. Nick Ballore had 3 special team snaps. Fedarian Mathis had a 63.1 PFF grade, had a 70.2 tackling grade. Fedarian Mathis was just a wall out there. He really was. It was like an Alabama wall out there. He played really good football, stopping the run. It's just being a force. Emmanuel Forrest had a 61.8 PFF grade. And Jamin Davis had 23 snaps. He had a 60.9 PFF grade and a 74.0 PFF grade as well. Dante Fowler had a 27.9 tackling grade. Jeremy Reeves had a 26.1 tackling grade, which is really awful. And Percy Butler had a 23.7 PFF tackling grade, which is really awful as well. But for the most part, that was on special teams. So All-Pro Revo didn't have his best game. Apparently, he had a 49.3 PFF grade. So that's very uncharacteristic of Jeremy Reeves, but that's the PFF grades. I mean, Frankie Lulu was a stud and all that. He got a game ball. And Bobby Wagner, Dorrance Armstrong, all those guys. But rapid fire, I'm going to go through the comments. Tim Farrell said Ertz was a dud. He was. Unfortunately, he was a dud. But at the same time, like if Jayden would have hit him on that pass, then we would be talking differently about Zach Ertz. That would have been like a 50-yard catch and run where we were on our own 1-yard line. So that's the only. I mean, the only reason why I call Zach Ertz a dud because he had 2 drops and he almost had a fumble that really would have hurt us. So that's about it. Yak Dog says the main stat: I leave my job and smack talking for the first time. I know it's crazy. Like I've been walking around town or seeing people different places like, hey, your commanders, man. Like everybody I seen like, hey, your commanders. Like people texting me and stuff like that. It's cool. It's a really different feeling. It really is. It really is. Tim Farrell said Tressway should be making Maytag repair commercials. Yeah, I mean he's just chilling out. He's really not needing much, but he did a good job punting on Sunday as well. PE said there was a point in the game where I thought to myself, this is like taking candy from a baby. I thought the offense was just humming. Yeah, the offense was incredible. The defense was striking. We had 7 sacks. 7 sacks. I mean, they just did whatever they wanted to do. They just manhandled, like I said, belt to you know what against the Browns offensive line. Belt to you know what against Deshaun Watson. He was seeing ghosts out there as well. E says, I wonder what they got in common. Laughing my butt off. DMV Bay says we have a chance to surpass our Washington Skins total points of 541 in the season. Yeah, we do. We do have one extra game, which is kind of not fair since we have 17 games in the season now compared to 16. But yes, they might do that if we just want to. If we want to just compare it through 16 games, we can do that. And they really are on pace because we're going to put up a lot of points against the Ravens too because their defense is not good in my opinion. They're not. Even if said, hey, Lou is interesting that these other players have in common, like players like Moose and Cooley. Hey Lou, yeah, Roy Hey Lou. I think they did. I think people did say that. Gary Harcher said Louisville was not an interception but a fumble recovery. Yeah, they changed it. They changed it from an interception to a fumble recovery. Let me turn this game on real quick, actually, before I wrap it up with you guys. I do want to see what's going on with this Saints and Chiefs game real quick. But I know you guys are going to start watching that pretty soon. I know everybody's watching that. But let's see here. More comments here. Richard Walker says Johnny Newton Ball. Yeah, he played well. He played really well. Like I said, his PFF grades were good. Troy DT 1982 says game's on, be good at. Yes, sir. You guys enjoy the game if you guys are going to watch the game. I mean, if you're going to stay on and listen to the stream as well, I'm watching the game while streaming as well. I got it up on my laptop. I'm clicking through tabs, of course, talking with you guys, and then looking at the game for sure. Let me see if anybody's even scored yet. The Chiefs did score. Okay, they scored pretty quickly here. 7 points. Kareem Hunt got a TD. He has 5 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown. And Travis Kelce has 3 catches for 31 yards right now. So we'll see what happens with that. And Chris Olave has 1 catch for 4 yards. I did take a wager on Travis Kelce to get the over on his yards and Kareem Hunt to get the over on his rushing yards. I should have took him as an anytime touchdown scorer. So we'll see how that works out for the other guys. Yeah, Luke has not been unlocked yet. He has not. He really hasn't. I think the chemistry with Jayden and Luke's going to get better. I think we'll get better as time goes on. Tommy B says, Ed, I live in Philly, and I've been rubbing it into my fellow Eagles friends. I keep telling them that Daniel's everything that they wish Hurts could be, and it really gets to them. Yeah, I mean, he looks better than Jalen Hurts at this point. Jalen Hurts, he's been turning the ball over. He doesn't look like the same guy. Now, I know a couple of his receivers are hurt, but still, he is turning the ball over. And Jayden is not. Hannah B says, we used to say hey Lou for Roy Hey Lou. And even Roy Hey Lou, that was a while ago. That was like close to that was a while ago too. I think Cooley was here when Roy Hey Lou was here as well back in 2011. So Roy Hey Lou, I would look up the season that Roy Hey Lou was here, but time is ending. Time is almost wrapping up here for the stream. But Dime 101 says prime Luke McCaffrey going to be a real problem. We have one for when Terry's time slows down. Yeah, Luke McCaffrey, he has the potential to be really good in this league. He really does. He's getting open. He's creating separation. I think he will be fine. I think him and Jayden will connect. Their chemistry will get better game by game for sure. Tony said played out. The Ravens need to play excellent as well. This offense is legit. Yak Dog says, yo, I played ball against McCaffrey's dad, straight baller. Yeah, McCaffrey is an athlete and a half for sure. Danny Banner said, against man, Luke can win. Yeah, Luke's been winning. He's been winning. He's just been getting open. He's been getting open for sure. He says, Raymond Johnson says, I saw Dan Snyder. He says, I saw Dan Snyder at Shell Gashing with a green jumpsuit and with head. Man, tragic. Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much on Dan, but I mean, he sold the team. It's just been a different vibe, different energy, and all that. And we're a good team now, so it's awesome. Northwest Stadium is the stadium's name now. A lot of things have changed for the better, but the trajectory is certainly going up for the Commanders for sure. Don 101 says Luke can be a great wide receiver in the future. I agree. Shaquille Johnson says, I believe we can beat the Baltimore team. You see how they almost lost to the Bengals. So I know for a fact we can beat them. I think we can beat them too. Like we're 7-point underdogs, but it's gonna be very competitive. Like if we lose, I think it's only gonna be like by 3 points, if that. At the most, like 3 or 5 points. I don't think we're gonna lose by more than 7 if we do lose. We just have to really contain Derrick Henry. We really have to contain their tight ends as well. It's gonna be huge. And Zay Flowers, and then obviously Lamar Jackson with his legs and what he can do throwing the football too. So this is going to be a heck of a matchup. This is going to be a shootout. It's going to be a chess match. It's going to come down to coaching too. Coaching is going to be really huge. Like I said, when to go for it on 4th downs, when not to, when to take the field goal, when to go for a 2-point conversion, when to throw the challenge flag, time, clock management, 2-minute clock management, all that stuff. It's going to be a chess match. It is going to be a chess match. This is going to be a heck of a matchup. It has potential to be the game of the year so far this season. It really does. It has potential to be the game of the year so far. This probably is the matchup of the year. This is the matchup of the year. It is what it is. This is the matchup of the year. It's a 1 o'clock game, which is insane, but this is the matchup of the year. Jayden Daniels versus Lamar Jackson, 2 ridiculously athletic quarterbacks that can throw the football, 2 super athletic quarterbacks that are winning football games and that can take a soul from the defense on any play. They both are capable of doing it and have been doing it. So it's going to be a fun game. Tim Ferris says, if we keep this up, Taylor Swift will start coming to our games. I hope not. But all right, you guys, as always, I'm going to wrap it up here. Make sure you guys check out BetUS as well. Make sure you guys check them out. They're sponsoring this video. 4-1. Keep it up, guys. College offense, all that. Left hand up. Let's keep the winning streak going. Eyes on the prize. Jayden Daniels is the MVP candidate and all that. Commander Nation, we deserve this, guys. It's about time we got a quarterback. It's about time we have a good team. The defense is getting better and better each week. Coaching staff has been good. Cliff has been in his bag, rolling on all cylinders. I mean, we deserve this, guys. We deserve it. All right, guys. Health Commanders. Have a good night. Enjoy the Monday Night Football game. Health Commanders. Peace.